Hey there friends, it's time for Why Not? Yang News of the Day, Episode 8 for Monday, June 24th, 2019. So I have some announcements for you, I have a tweet for you, and I have an interview to go over that Andrew Yang did with the Reverend Al Sharpton. So we've got a lot of items to go over. Thanks for being here. Okay, let's do announcements first. Announcement number 1, Andrew Yang will be on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert tonight. So you're going to want to check in with that. You know, there's a lot of controversy about Stephen Colbert going after Andrew Yang when no one knows who he is. I did a video about that a few months ago, maybe a month ago. I'll leave it down in the comments if you haven't seen it. But that should be a good interview, and also I'll do a video on it tomorrow, more than likely. Okay, announcement number 2, the debates are this week. So June 26th and 27th are the debates, and Andrew Yang will be on the 27th. So he's got night number 2. So make sure to watch that. We've been talking about this for months. We've been waiting for it for months. It's finally happening, so let's do this. Okay, so do I have another announcement? I think that's it. Okay, so let's get into the business of the day. Why not? Okay, so Andrew Yang tweeted out the other day, quote, "Little known fact about me, I was on the U.S. national debate team in 1992 that went to the World Championships in London. If you get me on that debate stage, I will deliver." End quote. I believe him. Whenever I see Andrew Yang in an interview, he has such a low center of gravity when it comes to the way he talks, the way he responds. He just acts like someone who's been there. It really shows up in a lot of his interviews. So I believe Andrew Yang when he says, "I will deliver," and this what is it, Wednesday or Thursday, we're going to find out if he delivers. So this should be awesome. Okay. Moving on, the Reverend Al Sharpton and Andrew Yang had a sit-down. They were both at the South Carolina Democratic Party event called Jim Clyburn's Fish Fry. I guess Jim Clyburn is a prominent South Carolina politician who hosts shindigs for, Democratic candidates, presidential nominees, etc. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Andrew Yang stage dived and did some crowd surfing. I couldn't tell if that video was real or fake. If you know if that was real or fake, let me know. Drop it down in the comments. Leave a link. That looked pretty peculiar. But anyways, let's get into this interview. Okay, so Al Sharpton, what is your appeal to Southerners and African Americans in your opinion? Andrew Yang, well, the centerpiece of my campaign is $1,000 a month, which would be transformative for many people here in the South and would go a longer way in communities that have lower access to capital and job opportunities, which unfortunately overlaps with many black communities, both here in South Carolina and around the country. And the freedom dividend is something that Martin Luther King was fighting for in 1976, and when he fought for it, he said this shouldn't be for any particular subset of Americans because poor blacks and poor whites have common ground here, end quote. So, yeah, the freedom dividend is the answer to a lot of things. Maybe Al Sharpton isn't really liking that. He wants a more specific answer, but the freedom dividend covers so many bases. It's Andrew Yang's flagship proposal, and when someone brings up the gay community, he talks about how it benefits the gay community. When the freedom dividend comes up, he talks about how it will help women, and struggling jobs and relationships, and here he's using it for the black community. So it's the answer to a lot of problems, broad scale and very general, but I don't know if Al Sharpton was happy with that. Whatever. Moving on, Al Sharpton. Now, you said you would sign H.R. 40 if you were president, but you're saying this $1,000 a month is a way or incentive to do what? What is the reasoning for it? Andrew Yang not clap back, but he said back to him, well, here in South Carolina, if we gave $1,000 a month, every person over 18, it would grow the consumer economy in South Carolina by 14%. It would create tens of thousands of new jobs right here in communities because they would spend it here in South Carolina. The freedom dividend would be a catalyst for entrepreneurship, arts, creativity, caregiving, coaching, and other things. All the things that frankly people want to do intrinsically but don't feel they have the means to support, end quote. So yeah, he gave him a specific, more specific answer there with the projected percentage of growth in the consumer economy in South Carolina would be 14%. So maybe Al Sharpton was expecting to hear something about reparations in H.R. 40, which is a bill for reparations. But once again, it's all back to the dividend. It's all the freedom dividend. Okay, moving on. Al Sharpton asked, where are you in regards of criminal justice reform? Andrew Yang said, quote, I'm certainly in direct opposition to Donald Trump. I think we should get rid of all private prisons. It makes no sense to have prisons with profit motivations. We need to get rid of private prisons, and we need to get rid of this cash bail system as we throw people in jail for basically being poor. We need to work on investing in communities, in community policing initiatives to try to support some genuine trust between the public and law enforcement, end quote. I agree fully with that. The fact that we have a private, for-profit prison system in America is absolutely disgusting. It is absolutely shameless, just about as shameless as our for-profit healthcare system. In America, we are just absolutely shameless when it comes to making a buck. It's disgusting, and I fully agree with Andrew Yang here. We should get rid of cash bail, a private prison system. It's just, wow, when you think about it. It's mind-boggling how greedy we are in America. Amazing. Okay, next question. How do you Al Sharpton said, how do you distinguish yourself from the rest of the candidates without being divisive? Andrew Yang, the great thing is most people are just finding out about me in the campaign. It would kind of be a lousy use if I spent my time, my limited amount of time, throwing rocks at other candidates. So I'm just going to be spending my time introducing myself, my ideas for a trickle-up economy, and I believe that our strength will grow and grow and grow just based on our vision for the country, end quote. So I like this answer. That's why I love Andrew Yang. He's policy-based. He doesn't go after other people. He doesn't throw dirt, throw rocks, throw political punches. He's all policy-based. That's why we support him. That's why we like him. And that's just a good answer. Okay, next question. Al Sharpton said, what do you think about the president's ICE plans to round up illegal immigrants? Andrew Yang, I think it's terrible on so many levels, and it strikes me more of an inflammatory distraction than real policy. Nailed it. Andrew goes on. There are over 12 million undocumented immigrants in America. It isn't even possible to imagine what trying to deport 12 million people would even look like in practice. So why are you even pretending that it's a possibility? It's to inflame it's to inflame his base and to distract from other things that are happening. So I would definitely reverse this set of policies that really doesn't solve any kind of problem. It's inhumane, and it separates families, and it's unconscionable in many ways. End quote. Absolutely nailed it. Like, there's just no way we could implement this thing, but even if we did, it's profoundly racist, it's profoundly xenophobic, it tears families apart, and seriously, this is how Trump feeds his base. This is what they're being fed with. This is red meat for the Trump base. And this doesn't say anything good about the Trump base, that they're invigorated by this stuff. Because logistically, this could never happen, okay? I know they live in La La Land where it's just like, oh yeah, making America great again. Yeah, we're winning. Yeah, because they create it. And they think they can actually deport 12 million people. How stupid are you? It's not logistically even close to ever happening. But if they feel like that's going to happen, if they feel like it's a win, he's going to throw it to them, which shows you the level of delusion. So anyways, Andrew Yang nailed it there. I thought that was a pretty good interview. I'll leave that link down below. So that about wraps up Yang News of the Day. Why not? For June 24th. Let me know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe, and click the bell.